Hi Cliff fans, exciting news. Cliff has finally announced the release date for his up and coming Christmas album. Cliff at Christmas will be released on the 25th of November, and yeah, it's very exciting. I can't wait for this new Christmas album. I know that Cliff earlier on this year said that he was going to be giving us an album sometime later on the year, and a lot of the fans were speculating what the album would be, and a lot of fans were saying what they'd like it to be. And I know a lot of fans wanted it to be like the Rise Up album of freshy new material, and yeah, I would have loved that as well, because I love Cliff albums that I can play right through the year, and you can't really do that with a Christmas album. But I'm, as I say before, I said it in a couple of these videos, I'm just really thrilled that Cliff is still recording, still with us in a very big way, and yeah, I'm really excited for this new Christmas album. As I say, it will be released on the 25th of November. Which again, the 25th of November seems really late. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of people don't start playing Christmas songs, I know, until the 1st of December. But I kind of start playing them the start of November, or even, yeah, just after Halloween, I start playing my Christmas songs. So yeah, the 25th of November, you're really only going to get a month and a bit of Christmas songs of the new album, and then you kind of have to put it on the shelf for another year. So that's a little bit disappointing that it's released so late, but yeah, he's looking at the sales. It's gonna like sell big. I know it will. It's also going to be released on vinyl as well, which is very exciting as well. You can get a vinyl copy of this exclusively from Amazon, apparently. Anyway, the Daily Mail actually made the announcement earlier on this morning, and in that article, they mentioned a couple of the new tracks that Cliff is going to be recording. So the first one I noticed was "The Most Wonderful Time of the Year," which of course is the Andy Williams classic Christmas song. I absolutely love this. I don't think there's a Christmas I can remember that I didn't listen to this track a couple of times. I absolutely love it. Sleigh Ride, which is another Christmas classic, which Cliff has said in the past that his favorite Christmas album of all time is the Phil Spector Christmas album from, I think, 1961. Phil Spector produced an album with all his girl bands, etc. on and it was a big Christmas album, and Cliff loves that album, and Sleigh Ride was one of the tracks on that album. Yeah, really excited to hear that. Joy to the World. Cliff always has to remind us what Christmas is really about to him, and yeah, so of course we're going to get a couple of these type songs. When a Child is Born. Now, I should have said at the start, the first thing I noticed was it's going to be called Cliff at Christmas. So it makes me think, is this an updated version of the 2003 album, Cliff at Christmas? Because it's very unusual for two albums to have the same title. I don't think that's ever happened before. So it makes me think, is this an updated version? Are we going to get all the tracks that were on that album plus the new tracks as well? And When a Child is Born is mentioned here, and yeah, that was obviously a fantastic version on the 2003 album. I don't know, I can't really say whether that is a, we're going to get another version of that, or is it the same version that was on the 2003. I have no idea. Yeah. Next one we find out that he's going to sing is Jingle Bell Rock. Is probably the one that I'm most excited to hear, because I absolutely love Jingle Bell Rock. It's one of my favorite Christmas songs of all time. Originally recorded by Bobby Helms, which Cliff fans have heard Bobby Helms' name mentioned lots over the years, because Bobby Helms was the original singer of Schoolboy Crush, which Cliff covered in his first recording session, and it was going to be his first single. But then Move It, Ian Samuel Move It, and they made Nori Palmer turn it around, and Move It became the A side, and Schoolboy Crush became the B side. But absolutely fantastic song. Jingle Bell Rock is probably Bobby Helms' most famous track, and it's one of my favorite Christmas songs of all time. I remember when Cliff recorded his Just Fabulous Rock and Roll albums, I always thought he missed a little marketing idea. But I always thought that he should have released like a little box set, like he did with a couple of albums. He did with the Soulicious album, and he did with the Boldest Brass and the Reunited album. Maybe a little box set with a bonus CD of about five rock and roll Christmas songs like Jingle Bell Rock, Run Rudolph Run, Blue Christmas, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, them type songs with that band that was on the Just Fabulous Rock and Roll, because that was a fantastic band. I would have loved to hear five five tracks of Christmas songs as a bonus CD. That would have been fabulous. But I'm thrilled that Cliff is finally recording Jingle Bell Rock. Absolutely love it. And then we're introduced to new Christmas songs, new tracks. The first one being entitled First Christmas, which is obviously about the birth of Jesus, which yeah, Cliff, as I say, always has to remind us what Christmas is. I'm sure he doesn't have to remind us, but he reminds us what Christmas means to him. Um so yeah, that's obviously going to be a religious song. 6 days after Christmas, Happy New Year, which is probably another anthem for the new year. Absolutely fantastic, and one called Heart of Christmas. So I'm really excited to hear these three new tracks. Yeah, and I'm really excited to hear this new album. Yeah, I know a lot of people wanted the an album of new material, all new material. And yeah, I was with them in that. Yeah, that would have been absolutely fantastic. But I do have to say, I'm absolutely still thrilled that Cliff is still recording, and I can't wait for this Christmas album. I know it's going to sell through the roof. Cliff at Christmas, released on the 25th of November.